Hello, viewers, listeners, and everyone in between. I'm your host, Mr. Green. And now I'm going to have a change of pace for this next Dark episode, since this episode isn't actually going to be a part of the podcast series. This will actually be a part of a new series I'm going to make popular around the channel, where I simply read some of the files from the entities that we have in containment and inform you on the art process that I decided to go about when I drew them up and gave them life. Most of the entities aren't created by me, they're created by other people in our official Dark Discord server that is below in the description, comments, and everything else. If you'd like to join, feel free to. I'm not going to stop you. We love having new members on, and we love having you with us at all times, giving your wonderful support. Now, I guess before we start the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and all that good jazz. So, how about we get started, right? Alright then. The first entity we'll be covering is one made by Baron D, the newest member that we have in the Discord, and their entity, Glorn. Designation D-202-4. Glorn. Containment class minimal. Secondary containment class non-applicable. Disruption class subtle. Danger level notice. Physical description: an extremely overweight being that has no jaw, is covered in frost, gray pale skin, black sunken in eyes with rigid white irises and a red tongue, and a lack of a jaw. Ability description: Glorn can spawn ice from its mouth. Additional notes: Glorn is rather harmless and not very intelligent from what we have observed. Glorn represents gluttony in the Eclipse Hotel. It's 14 feet tall and 4.5 feet wide. However, P is just stuck in the freezer, so he's pretty much harmless. Tests/special events: the staff in the kitchen throw food scraps to Glorn, and he slurps it up without protest. Glorn, the beautiful fat creature we all love and just cherish in this family. I really enjoyed drawing this because I don't draw obese entities often. I just don't get the chance to draw something giant and just it feels right. You know, originally when I started drawing this, I just wanted to draw it as a joke, but then I started having a lot of fun, and then I just thought, damn, this is actually really cool. While I was showing it to Baron to get some notes, if I should change anything, they kept saying make it bigger, and bigger, and bigger, and I just kept changing the size, and it was fun. I also did a drawing where it is actually stuck in the fridge, so yeah, pretty much. Next, we're going to cover the little ones, an entity, pair of entities created by Slow Pizza 1212. Alright, we'll get into that as soon as this drawing is finished. Enjoy Glorn! The Little Friends. Designation D-0330-1 and -2. Containment class restricted. Secondary containment class spirit. Disruption class obvious. Danger level notice/danger. Physical description: D-0330-1 is a tiny cyan-skinned dead-looking man with 4 small purple wings, each wing having a small lighter purple feature somewhere above them, a blue halo atop his head, blue hair, and a pure white chiton. D-330-2 is a tiny tan-skinned, well-built looking man with flaming feathered wings and dark gray primary wings, in a pitch-black suit, 2 long maroon horns, red hair, and a long demonic tail. Ability description: they occasionally fly onto someone's shoulder and start telling them to do either morally right or wrong decisions, bickering about what the person should do constantly. They have shown more abilities, such as holy or demonic magics. Additional notes: they are a creation of the reflection, being used similarly to not what it seems. However, they are more active in their approach of testing. More of testing one's willpower to not fall to temptation and do the right thing when requested. Whenever they appeared on top of researchers' shoulders, we were able to question them. They were surprisingly willing to answer our questions, and that's how we learned about their connection to the reflection. Tests and special events. They went on the journalists' shoulders. The journalist immediately threw them out the window, and the journalist never elaborated why. Yeah, those are the little guys. The little creatures that go on your shoulders, Kronk style from Emperor's New Groove. I really did enjoy creating them because all I literally did is just took the description and just put it there, and I just started spitballing. And I had a lot of fun. I don't know. That's really it. So, yeah, enjoy their glory. Next, we're going to cover the Apostle, an entity created by me. The Apostle. Designation 0087. Containment class Apex. Secondary containment class Demon. Disruption class Obvious. Danger level Dangerous. Physical description: D-0087 is a 8'9" tall leech humanoid. It's bipedal with 2 functioning legs, yet it has a limp requiring a cane to walk around. It has 1 slimy arm that wraps around the walking cane. It has a large bulbous mass on the right side of its body, replacing its arm. The mass acts as a sort of stomach where it contains blood it siphons off prey. Its height mainly consists of its long neck, leading to its vile, many-teethed leech face, with 3 rows of teeth leading to a glowing blue throat. It also has a sort of camouflage where it has 6 axolotl-like fins on the side of its head that glow a comforting pink shade. Ability description: it has proven to be able to heal major wounds via drinking human blood. The older the blood, the better. It finds it more flavored due to the age. It says it is like a fine wine to it. It can manipulate blood slightly once it enters its mouth and circle it around its cane and fire it off as spikes and knives. It can move at 52 miles per hour and lift 534 pounds. It can bite through skin easily and even pierce bone with its teeth. It has a bite force of 4,220 psi. Additional notes: this is a demon from the Kingdom of the Hunt. We contain it via, taking its cane away. It can generally stand on its own, but its knees fumble and almost shatter when it tries to walk. But that also doesn't stop it from trying to break the walls with its teeth. Tests and special events. Through interviews, we've discovered this being is more political, as a sort of ambassador for hell, almost a messenger of sorts. Just gathering information, sending information, and grabbing a snack in between its jobs. It speaks perfect English, Spanish, Russian, Chinese, Japanese, Filipino, Danish, and Latin, as well as some sort of demonic runic language we think it speaks in hell. We've run a test to see what happens if it drinks animal blood. Once, and it seems to get drunk. We aren't sure why it got drunk, but some of the researchers speculate it's because human blood is more like a fruit juice, while animal blood is like liquor. Despite its comments, human blood is like a fine wine. Not as much as we'd like to test what happens if it drinks a large amount of human blood or different blood from different entities. We aren't allowed to run this test due to the fear that it might absorb the power of the entity it has and break out. And that's the longest one by far. Okay, I'm gonna try and just run this down short. Originally, this was an entity I was going to make for just a different show, but I decided I'm gonna just change it here. It was just a human who got, possessed by some dark creature, and it had axolotl fins on the side of its face that I really liked. But now, I created this. And, I don't want to make this section any longer, so enjoy the Apostle. And let's move on to the Nostalgic Tinker next, made by Slow Pizza 1212. Nostalgic Tinker. Designation D-0123. Containment class minimal. Secondary containment class Force of Nature personnel. Disruption class, obvious. Danger level, caution. Physical description. He is a monochrome colored man that looks like he is in a constant VHS filter. His attire is old-timey and simple. Ability description. D-0123 is capable of crafting things that have to do with nostalgia or past memories of bygone eras. According to him, they are not intended to be harmful, as it is merely that nostalgia is a neutral emotion, being both good and bad. Additional notes. It appears that D-0123 has been the cause of multiple anomalies being created, including, but not limited to, D-0059, D-0996, and D-0321. More anomalies have likely been created by him, but we have not yet discovered them. Also, he seems really lovable to other people, and hearing some of his creations have caused emotional distress to some people, made him look down somberly and tell us, "I'm aware such emotions can lead to pain, but I never intended it to be that bad." Test and special events. After learning about him, we decided to test him with a few of said anomalies, and we theorized he created. And that caused us to be proven correct. Test 1. Bygone Era. He watched each channel and said, "Ah, one of my favorite creations. A shame it's stuck here in a cell, though. At least you can all use it, right?" Test 2. Velour. He listened to the song and sighed happily before saying, "Everyone that listened to this loved it? That's great. I worked hard on it." Test 3. Home. He looked around the house and sat down before looking at the garden saying, "My home. Vacant ever since my containment. Your expeditions through here, you've been taking care of it, yes?" And that's the honestly most interestingly written anomaly that he's created by now. He's made a lot more files about it, and honestly, the Tinker is probably one of my favorite anomalies that just are in Dark in general. He's just so interestingly lore-wise, and it's just such a creative way to do it. I just don't know what else to say. Other than that, enjoy the Tinker. And now let's move on to the last entity that we'll be covering today, Dawn-like Crustacean. Again, by everyone's favorite and most consistent creator on the Discord, Slow Pizza 1212. Enjoy the Tinker, and let's move on to this next one. Dawn-like Crustacean. Designation D-0370. Containment class, Apex. Destruction class, obvious. Danger level, caution. Physical description. D-370 is a green, glowing female anthropomorphic crab, wearing a solid slime-like armor. Her hands are claws and she has slimy spikes on the sides of her cyan eyes. Ability description. She is capable of stretching her claws about a foot away from her, along with being able to make tiny, slime-like constructs such as small blades or bombs that explode into a bunch of slime in the nearby area. Not too dangerous, but very difficult to clean up. She can't speak, but understands a few English words. She is also extremely accurate with her blade constructs, always hitting exactly where she wished to. Testing with a fast-moving target, she was capable of compensating for their movement to hit the target perfectly. If we learn how to communicate with her, she could prove useful. Test and special events. D-0370 has shown a lot of interest in aquatic anomalies, mostly wanting to see the red herring despite not being able to understand its nonsense, which honestly might be for the better. You know, when I did draw this, I initially thought, I don't want to just do a regular old anthropomorphic crab woman with big honkers. So I looked it up and I saw, what's the difference when you have a female crab and a male crab? And apparently, here's a fun fact, male crabs have blue-tipped claws while female crabs have red-tipped claws. Ain't that just cool? That's honestly cool to me. Anyway, other than that, yeah. This is a pretty short entity to end it off on, but while I do have some time in speed draw, thanks for watching, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the little guy corner over there of me yapping all day. I didn't want to just put the PNGs all the time, so I decided to animate a little, show off my skills. Other than that, thank you for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm trying to make these new formats a little more interesting every now and then, and yeah. Thanks for watching. Again, I really appreciate it. Like and subscribe, leave a comment on what I should draw next. I'm always loving to take suggestions on whether I should just draw some more pop culture things or just, more entities that you've seen in the podcast that you would wish to see what they look like. Alright then, thanks for watching. You can leave the studio now. Thank you for your visit.